FSBRacingLive.com. Friday night, Winston Cup, 88. It's Melt Maynard Jr. and Greg, the voice of FSB, Bernardo, back on the air. What's up, Greg?
Milty, good to be back. Good to be back.
We're here with the talented pro sim racing drivers here, 20 plus here. How many we got here? We got a whole bunch of guys out here, and we're getting ready to rumble here at the Homestead night. Got a lot of new drivers here, a lot of new faces since we've been broadcasting, and even since I've been back on the track. And we're going to try to get to a lot of these different guys here. And as we go on throughout the course of the year, try to get a little airtime for everybody.
Absolutely.
You see, looks like, let's see what we got on the poll here. So who's on the poll here for tonight?
Well, let's take a look, Milty. There's our qualifying. We see our teammate there, Ed Kerstetter, sitting on the pole. Right behind him, Jeff Hale, Joe Cutt, Bill Yarbrough. Some usual suspects, Milty, just talking about the new faces. But a lot of familiar faces up at the front there. And there's our first newcomer, Mark Dillon Jr., with a nice sixth place run there, Milty. And that's a good run for the Pony Express driver. New team this season, Milty, the Pony Express.
Yeah, along with the other boys. Definitely got Pinky on that team and a bunch of other drivers. We'll try to get acclimated to all this. What a find for Doug. Scouted and found this driver for our teammate Ed Kerstetter, and he has not disappointed. He has been absolutely hot to run. He's got the hailstorm behind him there. Jeff Hale, one of the legends in FSB racing, from the Slim Sim stable. The great Slim Jim Gately trained him, and on here. We got a star-studded field for this event here, and this is one of the toughest tracks you'll ever find for racing on the track and pitting. Absolutely.
You said it, Milty. This version of the track, Milty. How many versions of this track have we seen out there? At least 3 or 4. And this is yet a different version. This is a full night version. And also, it's got a ton of grip. Almost super speedway-like. Just a little touch of a lift, Milty, and then you're right back on the gas through the turn. And if you can hold it down and keep the tires from sliding, you can get a tremendous run off these corners. And with a big field here, there's going to have to be give and take in that situation, or you're going to get a lot of bumps from behind and some looseness. And not in that regard, it is not a super speedway, because if you make contact like that here, it could result in a pretty big wreck. And we're going to get the call right here, Milty. Start the engines.
Well, we're going to take our picks here, and of course, do I get to go first?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with our new teammate. I ran one race with him 2 weeks ago, Friday night, and first time we were on TeamSpeak. This guy's smart. He's a stud. He knows what he's doing. I'm going with Ed Kerstetter.
Yeah, that solid pick. Can't argue with that pick. He's the 28 car, Milty, and who do I remember fondly in the 28 car?
Well, obviously Ernie Irvin and the great late Davey Allison.
Absolutely. I was thinking first of Davey, just like you, and of course Ernie. Man, what both great drivers and both tragic circumstances to take him out of that 28. Is the 28 car haunted? Ed's proven that it's not. He's racked up many wins already. He's a smooth driver. He's smart. He's a thinker. And if he needs to put the foot down and keep it down, he does that too. But since you took that pick, Milty, I might have to just complete the front row. And that Trans Am up there is looking pretty good at Jeff Hale's.
It's a sweet piece right there.
Yeah, and we see
Our,
the pace car coming off, Milty, so we're about to go a green flag racing here at Homestead.
also look for the usual suspects here. Steve Weber, Ken Hansen in the back, but uh, I would not underestimate them. And they go green. Guy Pitcher goes a little wide. He just kind of sniffing things out there and leaving some space. Want to have good spacing right here
Yeah,
and get through the
and
first corner.
right, and of course, Milty, as a refresher course, FSB rules, no passing to the backstretch. So everyone's kind of have to lock in their spot until they get there, and that's what it looked like. Everyone did very nicely. We're about to complete lap one. Ed is in the lead. Jeff right behind him. Looks like Joe Cutt right there too. Milty, what about Joe Cutt here?
Joe Cut, always solid, runs really well at this track. This track's very dear to my heart. Number one was the last pro race my dad ran in the IMSA series on the road course, and also the late great Texas Nation and I had a great battle here, which he did a little Dale Earnhardt move and won the race. And our thoughts, hearts, and prayers, thoughts and
Yeah,
prayers to the great Texas Nation.
yeah, absolutely,
R.I.P.
Milty.
Man.
Absolutely, taken way too soon. Great kid, and like you said, he was
And
he
he kicked my ass on this track. That was
yeah
great stuff.
he was one of the first drivers when I first joined this league, Milty, that just opened my eyes to see how good someone could be. And of course, since he's been here, FSB's had his share of pretty some big time drivers, Milty.
Absolutely. Great to see the 18 of Bill Martino back after a heart attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was very scary. John the Dog Palmer was keeping track of that on Facebook and letting everybody know. And here he is on the track in the
Yeah, here he
18,
is on the track, and
getting some here.
oh yeah, yeah.
Awesome stuff.
And just 'cause he's in recovery mode, he doesn't expect his competition to give him any slack, and he's not going to give anyone any slack anyways. That's just the way he is. So we've been seeing a great battle here for the lead between Jeff and Ed. Right now, Jeff has won that. I think Ed's very wily, and I think he knows side by side
Yeah, he is.
battling early on is not good for these tires to get that long green run. And there we see the 86 there, Milty, kissing the apron just a bit up high, and that's going to really open a door here. And
Four wide going down the front straightaway. Something's going to have to give here, and they fall into place. Great
oh,
pro
and the
drivers
303
here.
a little loose there, right in the middle.
Wow,
Ken
still
Ron,
three wide.
Mark Favorite down there on the bottom. Dylan Jr. on the outside. That's some good. That's some good racing right there, Milty.
Yeah, Dylan Jr. held his line real well there. Obviously, this is not what I'm used to when you're talking about Homestead. You don't go three wide that fast. I've never ran this track, just
Yeah,
downloaded it. So that's
right.
some serious grip level right there. We're gonna have to learn along with the fans here.
Yeah, and, a little further back, the 34, Isaac Johnson, Milty, who you're a little familiar with, maybe the other Johnson, and that's Ryan Johnson.
Well, that's his son right
There
there,
we
and
go.
Isaac's a young stud, and
He
coming
is.
up here, and he's gonna look. He's going for the win tonight.
Yeah, and look at the colors he's running, Milty. And of course, who's your favorite Mountain Dew driver ever, Milty? It's
Well, it's
got.
got to be Dale Jr. Come on.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking more of that old paint scheme. I'm thinking DW, Milty.
Oh yeah, well I should be thinking old school because no
It's
school like
the,
the old school.
that's right. This is that Aero
Bill
88 series.
Yarborough putting the pressure on. Great to get
Yeah.
to mention Bill there.
Oh
One of my
yeah.
faves there.
I know he is, but man, Milty, he everywhere he shows up, he can win. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
It doesn't, and we all know, when he puts himself to a road course, he's tough to beat there too. And right now
Kerstetter taking a look, but just kind of falling into place
yeah,
there.
and
Ken Ron fourth, and and Mark Dillon Jr. in fifth.
And Isaac right behind him, Mark Favorite right behind him, a little further back now. And that looks like the 59 there of Ryan Johnson. We are just talking about Dad there.
Yeah,
And then,
Ryan won a race a couple weeks ago and is definitely become much more. He was racing part time all the time, and then having to go to work like right at the end of races and stuff. Looks like he's had more time
hmm
to really show what he can do.
yeah, I mean, he's the winner, no doubt about it. Uh, one of my old teammates, Milty, from way back. So yeah, he's an Army guy too. So we got that connection. And right behind him,
Absolutely.
Milty, um, 62, and that's another newcomer, Sean Reap.
Yeah, and I've seen good results from him, and I think he got a top five this week in a couple of races, and uh, working out of town a lot. I'm missing on some of the knowledge of what these guys have done lately, but we're going to get to see what they can do tonight.
Yeah, and what we're seeing at the front here, Milty, is just some really tough racing here. And Jeff is still
30,
in the lead, but they're too wide for second. And that's Ed
30
down
second
low.
laps is blazing fast.
Yeah, Ed's down low. He's trying to make that low line work here, Milty. But I think from my experience, I did run. I was fortunate to run the chicken run, which is now basically a sprint race of tonight's race. And I noticed if you can go from about the middle and then can bring it down, you get the best run. If you go up a little too high, you're giving up too much ground, I think. Uh, and the draft really isn't as big as you would like it to be. So it's difficult to pass once you step out.
Yeah, in the past when I've run here and I've had a little bit of success, did beat Matt Watkins over the line with under no power with my teammate pushing me across there a couple of years ago, Pro Cup. But the inside line came in later in the race, and it also helped with fuel. This is a track you can clutch on and save fuel if the fuel window comes to that point, and it is possible.
Yeah, and since it looks like we're seeing a lot of quality green flag racing here, Milty. So if I'm in this pack right now, I'm definitely thinking, you know, looking toward my first stop. Now, another thing we can talk about, Milty, is the pit road here. There is an access road.
Yeah, I mean, you got to come down in a straight line, hard braking, grass all around you.
No
Stay on
margin
this
for error.
little, no margin for error, and you really don't have a good view. You have to look out of the left corner of your eye and kind of use a timing spot or a visual acuity on the side of the track to know when, unless you're driving out of cockpit, to know when to get on the brakes and point just right because you're turning left as you go into pit road here.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim Sharf, Pinky gets a little loose and he has got company. The
Yeah.
55 car is all over him.
And 55 of James Nally, another fairly new driver to
Oh, and he hits
FSB.
the apron.
And Nally will get by him here, it looks like. Let's see if he can complete the pass. And he
He's in the
will.
Vaughn's car, and we know about Vaughn's
Yeah,
being
we
from
know about
LA.
Bonds. Uh, yeah, and we expect him to be all painted up, Milty, by next week. Uh, there's the 23 is falling back. That's the 18 of Bill Martino. Remember, he's in the 18 car. He used to be in the 26 car, Milty. But new
He's
new
got company
season.
too.
Yeah, and he's got a bunch of cars right behind him. That's the
Yeah,
07 of
Saska. Yep.
07 of Ken Soska, and got the
Jeffrey Stone in the
191.
four.
Yeah, and the 191 Mike Sanders right there. 43 of Rick Bisconner. Right behind there's the 108 of Dog, Pops, Pruitt,
Yeah, you don't
72
know
car.
how good these guys are unless you're, 2 weeks ago I ran California out the box there,
And
and it was unbelievable how I was like I was right about this spot with those same guys going at it in that pack, and it was intense racing to try to get just in the top 10. This is Pro Sim Racing at its best, FSB.com.
Yes, it is, Milty. And this is an interesting pack, Milty, which is the third pack, we'll call them, led by the Nina, Ken Hansen, who we all know had some great success last season in Aero 88. But look who's behind him. Some big names. The 15 of Matt Watkins, uh, Steve Weber, T-Roy's back there, Sammy's back there. 68, Chet Barkin, 151 Guy Petra. So some veteran drivers, Milty, are playing a different game here, aren't they?
Yeah, and I would not be too upset if I was in that pack when you got those studs in there.
Man, I'll tell you,
Matt's got a purpose, and
yeah,
if you're
I, I,
tagging along,
I agree. I think Matty Watkins and tire management, Milty. These guys are going to stay out, and they're going to lead laps when all these guys at the front who've been battling 2 wide, 3 wide are going to be screaming for tires. And Sammy is the same way. He did it. He did it on Tuesday. He knows how to win here. Steve did the same thing. He had a great run. So did T-Roy. These are guys that ran Tuesday night too, Milty. And I think they learned something, and I think they're playing a completely different game than the front runners. Now this mid pack, Milty. If you're in this mid pack, what are you thinking here?
well, from memory, I'm thinking to make 107 laps, I got to get somewhere around 33, 34 laps, and that's been the
Ooh.
status quo of this track. So that's you're looking at when you on the straightaways, you're taking a look and you're doing your fuel. Tires obviously got to get tires, but what you want to do is be able to have enough fuel to at least get 33. Then maybe you can get a 34 or 35, or you want to stay in the position to try to, if it goes green all the way. Not likely in a big field like this, but it could happen. It does happen here at FSB Racing.
Yeah, we're on lap 23, Milty. So it is holding a slim lead. You can see the top 7 are less than a second apart, Milty.
Well, he's an absolute, obviously, great talent, and we're just starting to see the tip of the iceberg of what he can do. And not to mention, got to mention the dog there back in pack number 2, getting a big pro truck victory last night.
Absolutely.
I can remember when he was just starting out, and he told me he was going to win the rookie truck championship, and I was like, okay, man. Well, first what you need to do is be able to finish the race, And well, he has come all the way from that to being the champion, and also to be able to win a pro truck race in this league is, and as most of you are aware, he's paralyzed from the waist down. So he's driving with hand controls and an
Hmm.
excellent wheel, and he makes no excuses and doesn't want any. And we're not making any for him because he's out there racing. But it just for your knowledge.
Absolutely. And while you were talking there, Milty, we saw Ken Ron clip the apron slightly and slid up the track. Bill Yarbrough made a run onto the inside, but he couldn't complete it. And I think that's a theme at this track, Milty, is if you get down low there and you can't complete the pass right off, you're going to suffer, even with cars behind you. And you can see right there, Ken Ron on his own is holding off a line of cars on the inside. Now finally he gives way to Bill, and so this slightly outside the bottom line is seems to be the best spot.
Little gap between the first pack now and Ryan Johnson, and then the second pack and the third. Uh, Not too much for concern, but then again, you still have to execute your pit stops here because everything is. This thing goes green. We're looking at 4 to 6 laps green flag stops, and that's going to change everything.
Yes, it will. And I think what we're going to see, Milty, is that backpack They've been in line, they're drafting, they're probably saving as much fuel as anyone in this whole race. These front guys have been really battling, so I would think that they may even be able to squeeze a few more laps out of it. And like you said, that magic number 33 might be tough to hit for these front runners.
Watching the 62 of Sean Reap here, trying to watch some of the new guys I've never raced against or seen. Guys being real impressive, patient, along with Nally there and Mark Dillon. So you got three newer guys, very, but not new to this game and to sim
No,
racing
not at
because
all. Not
they're on the ball here.
Yeah, not new to the game and not new to racing around each other, Milty. They're in the FSB division and they show up for pretty much every race. So familiarity breeds faster cars too, Milty.
Isaac Johnson up there in fourth place, getting dogged by Ken here. Ken's probably starting to think, okay, well,
Yeah, he's
we had a
fallen back a little there. I think he's used up his
yep.
stuff, and I think this is what we're going to see. The people who took care of their stuff are going to move to the front now, Milty, and we're going to have that backslide and front movement.
Look
And
at the 28 just pull away here. Kerstetter is,
I
this
mean,
guy's impressive here. And
yeah.
they're pit stops. Lap 31. That's, oh, and boy, Bill's in there hard, but no
No,
contact
no,
there.
and no speeding here until we get all the way around, Milty. And there's the cones right there, and you got to be woed down, and all of them make it in
Boy,
very nicely.
they signaled at the last second. Now that's what we talked about here. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Mhm.
5.
This is old school
The top
racing,
5
Milty.
is in.
This is old school racing. They're only doing it because they have to.
Sconner
Everyone,
is
yeah,
in.
front runners are in. Let's check these pit stops, Milty. So crucial under green flag conditions.
The 28, Ed Kerstetter, nicely into his box, nice and smooth,
Very
no
nice.
jitters. The veteran FSB driver Jeff Hale in the smoking the
And
Bandit
Ed's
Pontiac.
away.
Whoa,
Jeff's
good
away.
stop for Bill too. It's going to be close at the line.
Yeah, we're
I think the 29 got him.
And Ed got out to a great pit stop, and he's
Oh,
down the
that's
access
beautiful.
road. And now again, Milty, access road off too. You get on that grass, you're gonna spin, and everyone has got off. Let's follow some other cars into pit lane, Milty. Here's
That
T.
is
Roy.
not the fuel window that we were looking for. So we're going to have to see what happens here.
Right,
Lo and behold,
but lo and
Matt
behold,
Watkins
lap
is.
33. Here comes the Watkins group.
That's exactly as you had foresaw.
Oh, and there's contact between Ken
Oh,
Hansen and
Matt
Matt
Watkins is
Watkins.
around.
And Matt is in like a
Ma-
really bad position here.
Is he? Are they servicing him in that position? They are, but he's going to have to back it up. He's getting
Wow.
service. He is backed
Wow.
up.
Unbelievable.
He's going to lose some spots
Let's
here.
see what he
What's he going
does
to
here.
do? He's got to wait now for those guys to get around him. And Mike Pruitt gets around him, a little bit of contact. And Mike backs up and spins him around to get him in the position. Those are teammates right there.
Wow,
That
what
was
a move.
orchestrated on.
And the
That was
flag's out,
orchestrated on
though.
teammate.
The
Yellow
yellow
flag
flag
is
is
out.
out. Let's see what Matt does. I don't know.
Woo!
He hasn't moved.
Something going on there.
Matt's having some
Wow.
problems, I think, here. Maybe with a wheel or something.
He might have jerked that thing right off, and he's up against the wall. He is not moving. He might have to recalibrate here. He needs to get that thing going before he goes a lap down. I think he's going to go a lap down here.
Wow.
Tough luck
Wow.
for the GOAT, as I call him, the greatest of all time at FSB Racing. Wins championships, you name it.
He's.
Matt Watkins is the man.
Oh, man.
But he is not moving, and I think he's throwing up out the side of his car there. He's not very happy.
We're seeing. I'm seeing his tires move, so it looks like his wheel is responding, but maybe I don't know. His pedals aren't.
Guy
In.
Pitra now coming in,
Let's.
teammate, trying to get him going
I
here,
don't
give
know.
him a push. This is
Oh,
extraordinary,
now he's getting a
and now he's
service.
in his pit stall to get serviced. Well, that's Monsoon Motorsports right there. Great
Wow.
teamwork.
Wow,
Matt's going to go a lap
unbelievable bad
down,
luck for Matt
and
Watkins.
maybe the 151 might go a lap down too. But that's great, selfless team.
Wow.
That's what his team's all about, folks.
Let's check it here. The 59,
Phew,
uh,
man.
the fifth, we see the 59 is out of the race with, it says accident, Milty. We did not see that as we were watching the drama of Matt Watkins being
Absolutely. Let me
pinned
go
in pit
back here and
road.
take a
So
look here.
give a quick look on the 59 car to see what
Hey,
happened there.
we're watching Ryan Johnson in the pit road here, and we'll fast forward that.
And as Milty's doing that, we're seeing some other pit stops. 108 Doug Palmer, the '07 at Ken Soska. Bill Martino's in, overshooting his pit there, so that's going to cost Bill maybe a couple positions. The 23 Jim Sharf is also in. Uh, and
Oh, something! Oh my gosh, Ryan Johnson! You got to show this. He did a head on into the um, uh, water barrels on the pit road entrance. Suddenly, he just veered down like he was trying to pit or something, and did not make pit road exit, or something major happened there, and he went head on. He was done. We're gonna have to hope he gets out of the in-car care center. All right, that was horrible. Straight on with the water barrels on pit entrance.
we're taking a quick look back here at the 59.
Yeah. It's like a lap after this when he comes out. Fast forward it, and then when he comes out, he makes one lap, and then unexplicably heads towards the pit road and does not. But he's going like full speed there. Crazy.
Yeah, we can see him come down, gets his pit. Everything looks good, Milty.
And he gone.
Oh, and hard into the barrels.
Wow. Not sure what he was thinking there. Or if he had calibration issues, if he got a black flag and was trying to pit, or but
Yeah, it
he
definitely
is ended.
appeared. I think he may have possibly got a black flag, and he was trying to get back in to serve it, and the car just did not turn enough for him, Milty. He tried to get in hot, and it did not cooperate with him.
In the on the scanner, I see he had lost fourth gear before that, and he might have just killed himself or something, because it says lost fourth gear, and then afterwards Ron Johnson disconnected. So I don't think he would be telling us he lost fourth gear after he plowed the barrels. Fortunately, NASCAR and FSB Racing right up to get those barrels right back into place.
Oh yeah, yeah. We got good corner workers here, Milty. We pay him in your we take it from your Budweiser allowance, but you like sharing the wealth.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah. Well, lately work's been crazy, so I'm all down with that. I would like to thank Mendoza Tile, my company I work for, and the guys there for giving me a great job and allow, allowing me to get back here after 6 months of being offline. It was a lot of time. It was heartbreaking trying to watch stuff on the phone and stuff, and missing out. And but I kept hanging out, and a lot of support from friends like yourself said you'll get back, man. You'll get back, and got a great job. So here we are, and we're back in black.
And we see that the lights are out on the pace car, Milty, as we go down the backstretch. The 20. Let's reset the field. 28. Ed Kerstetter is in the lead, and he's looked very good. Uh,
Matt's a lap down. Excuse me.
yeah, Matt is only one lap down, so I don't think he. I think he dodged a bullet, actually, Milty. It could have been worse if it stayed green for him. He would have definitely went down, maybe
This is
even
very
have been out of the race. So
Yep,
this is a
and this is
reprieve for
doable
Matt
for him
Watkins. Oh, absolutely.
because he can go balls out right now, get in the lead, and hope for a caution. And these drivers up front, they know what his situation is, and
Absolutely.
they're just going, does he have the car to do it? Which,
And we know
from
there's
everything we see, he's got no damage. So
yeah, and any damage would have been very minimal. It shouldn't affect the car at all. And
steady, the turtle, Bill Yarborough. It's not because he's slow, because the turtle, he's a turtle because he's always right there, steady, and doesn't take chances. You could count how many times he's wrecked somebody on your hand. Um, Probably not the same for himself getting wrecked, but he's definitely steady, always up at the front there, and uh, he's going to be a factor. And we got Kerstatter taking a look down low there, trying to
Matty
get around
Watkins.
Matt. He wants to put Matt down. He knows what that guy can do.
Oh yeah, he does. And Matty Watkins is really driving the wheels off right now, and there's a
Oh,
little contact there. Little contact there between Bill Yarborough and Matt Watkins. Looks like they worked it out. 34 though of Isaac Johnson
good.
up to third, Milty, and he's looking really fast. And so does the guy
Absolutely.
right behind him, Mark Favor.
The
Uh,
44 is just
I know you're trying to. I,
continued.
I know you're looking for that commission, trying to sell that ride. Of course, if he gets into victory lane, Milty, it might be easy to sell it.
Hmm. Well, he has steadily improved, and he was already good when he came here. So he's going to be a factor, and
And
he
Matt,
has won one of these Winston Cup races, so he
wow, and
knows what it
flags out.
means. Yellow flags out.
Flags out, and it was a drag race to the line. And did Matt Watkins get the lap back? Let's take a
And
look.
that's the
He sure
86 of
did.
Mark Dillon is around.
He sure did,
That,
Milty.
wow, Matt gets his lap back. He
And
knows. Cautious breed cautious. Let's take a look at the 86 here. Uh, I'm looking at it right now. Let's see what happened to Mark Dillon Jr. Oh, the 55 of James Nally got loose and nowhere to go for the 86. He stabbed the brakes like you try to do to get the thing to slide and go straight, but car right next to him got by, but nowhere. That's hard lick for Mark Dillon Jr. He's going to have damage along with James Nally of the 55.
yeah, we see the 55 just came in a little steep there, Milty, and tried to come down to that inside lane, and back end just came around, and the 62 just avoided what the 86 could not, and that's
Yep.
hard into and a double tap there.
A
And
reset here. I think you got to get four tires. Matt Watkins is sitting there on his sack of seeds, grinning right now because I'm back in this, boys, and you better watch out because this guy, he don't really wake up till about the first quarter of the race. Then he goes, okay, I guess it's time to race now.
wow. And let's take a look at that again, Milty.
Pit road, we got two tire stops and four tires. I think here I'm going with four tires no matter what. Fuel, you got to get fuel anyway, but tires are huge here. Two tires, I don't think is going to get it. Heavy damage for the 86 as he is. That crew is working feverishly on that car.
Yeah, and Matty Watkins had a. I'll tell you what, Ed did not lift off the gas, Milty, as they took the yellow flag. As we
I wouldn't
know,
either.
yeah,
It's new
I
to the
know.
league, but he knows that 15 is the guy you better watch out for. So I'm going to try
Oh,
to keep that sucker a lap down.
Milty. As we know in our league, Milty, um, there
We do
is
give those laps back, yes.
there is there's no rules about that, Milty. You race back to the line. That's what the rule says.
But it is an unspoken rule
We
and
we
a gentleman's etiquette, absolutely.
and given the opportunity to keep Matt Watkins a lap down in a race, I don't know if we should deny anyone that opportunity. And I don't
I
think he
do
would
know
want it
he's
any
given
different
it.
either, though, Milty.
Yeah, he's given it to me before, but it depends. Right there, I think Ed's got to stay on the gas too to make sure. It's one thing to give a lap back, but when you got 4 or 5 cars behind you, if you let off the gas, you could pile up the whole field, and you don't want to ever give a lap back by putting the rest of the lead lap cars in jeopardy. If it's free and clear and it's single file and you got spacing, it's an easy thing, easy no brainer. But so I'd have to call it like that.
So, Milty, let's reset this field here. I think we see some
Fuel's kind of out the window now. If you're still looking at the same stop strategy, now you're pretty much gonna
laps.
have to reset. So you're
Yeah,
gonna go.
we're at lap 44 of what is it, 107, Milty. So,
So
what do
you
we
go
have?
46,
63,
80, then
63 laps
47.
remaining.
So you
Yes.
still got 2 stops, no matter what.
Well, 63 laps, Milty. They did do 33, so this could be a one-stop race if it goes green.
Well, see, yeah, okay, but let's redo our math there. I did go to Moore Park Junior College, not far from where you live, so maybe my math's a little off
Yeah,
here.
well, by my count right now, we have 62 laps remaining. So that's a
Yeah, absolutely,
32
yep,
and a 30 run,
absolutely, yep.
31-31, which the front runners, Milty, came in on lap 30. We don't know if that was all they could get or if that was, their strategy. So we do know that the Matt Watkins group that was in the backpack there, Milty, all got 33 laps. So it can be done. And if it stays green, yeah, the guys that can conserve that 1 or 2 laps might get rewarded here.
So we got Jeffrey Stone in the lead, and in the King of the Hill, he was. If it wasn't for my teammate Jim Ray, he might have got me there in that last Daytona race. I had to win that race to get the King of the Hill, and Uh, so we got to throw a shout out here. This guy is really fast on mile and a halfs and above. Look for Jeffrey Stone to be a piece here.
Yeah, so he is in
Looks
there.
like 2 tires for them. They must have got 2 tires to beat these other guys out, or and Guy probably with Guy's a lap down, so he's gonna be looking to try to get his lap back,
Yeah, this is
sacrificing his lap to help his teammate Matty Watkins.
and looks like the 23 Milty has disappeared on us.
Pinky in the is in La La Land here. What the heck?
I think he
He
just
gone.
Yeah, I think he got dropped unfortunately. So Pinky disappears from third place, and that opens up
Isa.
the door for a couple guys. I'm sure that's kind of unnerving when the car just disappears in front of you, Milty. You think it's gonna pop up right inside your uh, your cockpit or something, but
Absolutely. It's really unnerving when you disappear because you're driving around for a while, then all of a sudden you're gone. You thought everything was fine, and everybody disappears, and you're like, "Where's everybody gone?" And then you
it's
realize, "Oh shit, it's me."
yeah, that's always a terrible feeling, terrible, terrible. But right now, Stone has his hands full with Steve Weber. Guy Petra has gotten ahead of the leaders, so right now he is on the tail end of the lead lap. Let's see if he can hold them off here. Right behind him, the 18 of Bill Martino.
Guy Pitra, the reigning Pro Cup champion. Big congratulations to him. Years of trying and working hard and being a great dude and slowly getting better, getting to the point. It's one thing when you're a prodigy, it's another thing when you have to work real hard to get better at this game and compete. And to see him be a Pro Cup champion is very nice.
Oh, and I think we just had someone else disappear, Milty.
We got a message from Ed Kerstetter, projected fuel 30 laps. So that's what he's seeing from his
Hmm.
cockpit. Thank you, Ed.
Yeah, thanks Ed for
Uh,
that heads
Sh-
up. So, but we did
Sharpie
see.
is gone, and Bill Yarbrough is gone too. Holy crap!
Yeah, that's who it was.
That sucks.
Yeah, Bill was man.
That's the internet gremlins. It's part of sim racing. It's just like a blown motor, or
Yeah.
um, hopefully Ed can, Bill can get back in, and I'm gonna grab me a beer real quick. This break sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers.
So why Milty gets a cold one. Let's see who is moving and shaking here. Stone still has the lead. Steve Weber staying in second. Bill Martino up to third now with Bill Yarbrough was right there third and fourth. He's gone, unfortunately. Jeff Hale, though, having a good run there on the outside of Bill Martino. Uh, and now I saw a little blink from Steve Weber, so I don't know if we're having a server issue here or not. But nonetheless, Martino, Isaac Johnson there, and Jeff Hale on the outside, all battling for what is that? Third, fourth, and fifth position, and they're side by side for the lead between Jeff Stone and Steve Weber. Guy Petra liking this side by side racing behind him as he continues to try to cling onto that lead lap. And Martino off the apron just a little. And we got three wide here. Jeff Hale on the outside, Isaac on the inside, Martino in the middle. Coming into turn one, let's see what happens.
Picky's back on the track. The 23 um,
What
is
a move.
back on the track.
Well, that's good to hear. And Jeff Hale making a great move on the outside, passing two
7 laps
cars.
down. Bummer. But he doesn't give up.
Stone did hold off Weber as they battled side by side briefly there. And there's the 86 car limping around the track now, unfortunately, after that hard hit. But he'll log some laps and get some seat time, Milty, and that's invaluable.
Absolutely.
Jeff Hale, though, is on the move, Milty. He restarted in about sixth or seventh, and now he's up to third. Isaac Johnson fourth, Bill Martino back to fifth. Right behind him, Mark Favorite, Joe Cutt, Sam's there, and also the who is that there? The 28 of Ed Crusader. So teammates there, the 28 and 98, Milty. Let's see if they can work together here and get through this field. Ed probably not really where he would like to be ideally, but I think he's going to be patient now. And I think he's going to try to get at minimum 30 laps because if you just get 30, Milty, you're going to have to do 32 to the end.
Absolutely. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to pit by yourself? Do you want to pit with cars? Uh, you're trying to figure out what the other guys are going to do. Do you have teammates? That's uh, that's on your mind already, even though it's still early in this run.
Yes, it is, and we see that Ed has let Sam get around him on the outside, and the 44 goes up high, and Joe Cutt gets around him, and now Sam's going to challenge him on the inside. So Sam, oh, and there's contact
Oh,
between the 44 and 98.
they go around and
Slight
Kurt.
contact with the inside wall. They're going to race back, Milty.
Already a sorry out of Sammy there. Obviously not what he wanted to do, and the yellow flag
Yellow
is
flag.
out.
Guy Petra does get his lap back, Milty. And it looks like
Great
Jeff
job by them.
Hale.
Oh, and the car spinning under caution. The
Oh
18 goes
no.
around. The 72 gets into him.
And the 15
Uh,
has a little contact there as well.
Definitely
The
something
9 to
the league
72.
preaches about slowing down after the caution. We're gonna have to take a look at this and see. But you definitely one wreck under speed is one thing, but under caution, we like to not have that. So we'll see if it was just unfortunate incident or somebody might have fell asleep there. We'll see. Kerstetter having to get back in line, led a couple cars down. The key here now is too with the wreck under caution. Can guys get lined up in the right order and pit and get back out without getting black flags? This could create a situation here if the car that spun did not get around, but it looked like the 18 got back going and got back in front of those cars, so it should be okay.
Yeah, Milty, and why we let this play, Milty, I'm going to take a quick 1 minute, 2 minute break. I'll let this go live.
Okay. So we got pit stops here, looking at several of these cars here. Kerstetter trying to get in. He's that was a good job. Missed his spot a little bit there, but he was worried about making sure he got in front of the 29 because he knows he's back a little ways there. Jeff Hale in the 29 will assume the lead. Isaac Johnson comes up behind, 3 wide at the line. We're going to have to see how this sorts out. Kerstetter loses some time there, but that's a wildly smart move there. He's being very cognizant of what was going on around him, which is always hard to do when you lose some positions to keep your focus. Ken Hansen was your leader at for the as the car's pit there. So I still think you need to get 4 tires here. Fuel, unless you're really sucking on track position, you might try something interesting here. But how about that 62 Sean Reap? Top 5, top 6, top. Now he's 7th place right now until we recycle. But very cagey, wily race there. We'll have to see where the 18 is going to line up there because he's showing 5th. If there are no black flags, he did get back in position. Could be no harm, no foul, except for maybe damage. Doesn't look like anybody really spent the time to get damage fixed there because they all came back out as fast as they could. And from my experience, you do not want to see that 29 in the lead here at Homestead at this point. He could just lead the rest of this race. But right now, we're seeing the 9 of Ken Hansen, who must have taken no tires or did not pit at all as we're trying to keep up with the action. We're not watching him. So we got right now, as the crow flies, we got the 9 of Ken Hansen and the 07 of Ken Tosca, and now they're pitting. Okay, so that makes more sense. Along with Mark Dillon Jr., who is a lap down. Isaac Johnson right in there with the studs. He's a young fella compared to these guys, but you don't have to be old to be wise. And you don't have to be old to be win. In fact, these days truck racers are 15 or 16 years old in the real world. Still in the top 5 as we see the 9 and the rest of the tail end of the. Actually, they'll be end of the lead lap. And they did get Ken Hansen would get some points for that, so or a point. And he's very.
All right, Milty.
He drives good when he's in contention to win, and he drives good when he's not in contention. Earned a lot of respect in this league over his last several years racing here in the 9 car. You wouldn't hear anybody say a bad word about this guy. Class act.
Yeah, absolutely, Milty. And we see he is the last car on the lead lap, Milty. 22 cars still on the lead lap. So if you're on the lead lap, just one mistake, Milty, puts you from, 3rd to 23rd in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, that's FSB racing. That's pro sim racing. at its best. And of course, you got different levels of drivers as far as the league goes, pro, FSB Cup here, but this is professional sim racing.
Absolutely.
It's still just a game, but it's as we get
Well,
ready to go green here.
ready to go. Jeff Hale's going to
Look
lead
at
him down.
Isaac there. What can the 34 do with the 29? We shall see.
Hmm.
Uh,
The 23 also several laps down, Milty. I think 7 laps down. But hey, you got to the way you what can you do? You got to get a lap back one at a time, right, Milty?
yeah, if you got a good car like him, he got disconnected. You got a piece that can race. It's ethically and um, morally correct. Obviously, if you had a beat up junk pile out there, you got to get out of the way. But
Right.
get your
And
laps back. We've seen guys like Matt Watkins get 6 or 7 laps back. If you get a boatload of cautions, and you can get your lap back every time, you're out there to race.
yeah, and of course, and now in this situation with a couple guys getting around them, you now you got to
You got to
think
take your
of,
lumps.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got to kind of let the leaders race just like you would want, you know, a guy to
Well,
let you race.
he's one of the many guys that are listening to the broadcast while we race.
Ooh,
Which is
and
at that point that's a trick right there. I'll
yeah,
tell you.
he's really loose getting into the turns. Oh, and we have a car up against the wall,
Oh,
Milty.
2 cars against the wall.
Uh, and Sammy shot down to
Caution is not out yet.
caution is not out. No, green flag is still out, Milty. So we are not going to go caution for those. Yeah, we saw a car up against the wall, and you said 2 cars. Uh, I saw Sam shoot to the inside to maybe avoid a slowing car, but it looks like everything has worked itself out. There's Guy Petro who got his lap back, Milty, getting right back into the thick of things.
Yeah, you get recharged when you do that. And not to mention that he also helped keep his teammate. They're not stupid. They know who the money man is. You're not going to see Matt Watkins sweeping the shop. Probably it's going to be Guy or Steve. Somebody's going to be pushing the broom. It's not going to be the 18 because they know where the money comes from there, and so they're going to help him. Obviously it's a joke, but that's great teamwork. And yeah, FSB racing, we would do Team FSB, Donkey Bob. We would do the same thing, obviously.
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of that, that bump by Guy Petra to get Matt Watkins back into his pit stall and only losing 1 lap has really paid off for Matt Watkins. The car looks really good, Milty, and Matt's up to the 8th
Boy,
position.
they're going at it. Mike Pruitt,
Yes, they are.
he's from Sugarland, Texas. He's taking a look at the 17. Mike Pruitt has ventured into the GTP ranks, and a great jump for basically a stock car driver. Is going in and try the Grand Touring prototypes, and it's really neat to get new blood in there. We're hoping more guys will run the Sunday series.
Yeah, and we see some backpack racing here, Milty. There's some paint swapping going on back here. There's Chet, there's Sammy,
Oh boy,
Mally's over there. Guy Petra's
uh,
working the
Matt,
outside line, trying
Matt
to.
Watkins wants by Pinky here. He's took a look down, got down all the way down the apron. We'll see how patient he gets. He's pretty patient, and Pinky gets to the side and moves out of the way there.
He'll
Good,
he'll he'll
good
he'll
driving right there by both drivers.
yeah he'll.
Matt wants to go here.
Ooh, and there's contact between Chet and it looked like maybe. And he goes spinning. I don't know if we're gonna have a caution. There's not a lot of cars around. He's disconnected, and we stay green. Uh, Unfortunate
43's
break
just
there.
getting going there.
Unfortunate break for Chet. There was kind of door-to-door contact, and the caution now is out.
Let's see if we can take a look there. I missed that, so I'm gonna rewind it back. Maybe you can find it too.
Let's see here.
I see Rick Pisconer was going slow there, so I don't know if the two STP cars got into it or not. Let's see
Yeah,
what happens.
you see Chet went up high, and then as he came together with Mark Favorite door to door and went spinning, and then hard into the inside wall.
Yep, that's it.
And there's the 43 of Rick Bisconer.
It kind of came down on. It looks like Chet just kind of came down on the 44 there. It
Yeah,
looks like there was room for him there. Um, I must have had my cars mixed up, the STP cars, because
yeah, it was.
that was definitely all Chet there.
Yeah, Chet
Tough
was a
luck for the Sacramento native. Big dude, about 6'4". You should see him try to get into a go kart. It was like all Chet and no go kart.
and as you see here, the field waiting for the pace car to pick them up, so they can dive in the pit lane. And we see the 29 is in, and that should lead the parade in. There's Joe Cutt, Steve
Oh
Weber.
boy! Wow, Guy Pitram has made up a ton of spots. He comes out in front of a slew of cars he was behind there. Did he get two tires or what? This is melee here. I'm trying to watch 10 things at once here, and
Yeah, and
uh,
as we see the cars sort themselves out on this access road, yeah, Guy Petra must have took a two-tire change there, Melty. Speaking of two tires, Milty, last night I wandered into the FSB truck race. Came out with a top five.
I seen that, my friend. Great
And
job.
didn't qualify. Didn't put a whole hot. To tell you the truth, Milty, didn't put a whole heck of a lot of practice in, so I didn't feel comfortable being in the mid pack, maybe with a mid pack qualifying. So kind of hung in the back for the first caution. Took two tires, came out fifth or sixth, Milty, and kind of kept it there the whole race. So the two tires paid off at Kentucky. See if it pays off here in Homestead.
Sometimes it's just that mindset, when you, like you said, you weren't really intense about it. You didn't feel comfortable. You started in the back and you worked your way into the race. That's kind of the style I like to do, providing I get my, even when I have practice, but I have my steering settings right and everything where I feel comfortable over time. But each person has their style, and that's a great finish. Any top five in this league, in any
Absolutely.
division, is
I
an
was,
accomplishment.
I was I was kind of surprised, but I'll take it, Milty.
So what right now we got Saska up front. I think he's going to probably lead a lap and get some points and dive down here as the lights are still on, which looks like is what he's showing there.
Yeah, that's a good
Uh,
that's a good move. If you're points racing,
Absolutely.
Milty, 1 point lead a lap for every race, Milty. You walk away with 20 points at the end of the season, and 20 points. We've seen championships decided by way less than 20 points.
As we reset here, we see some new suspects, and that would be the 151 from Purgatory to third place, and then we got the the steady, ready 88 of Joe Cutter. His style's much like mine. Just you don't talk much about the 88 until the second half of the race. All of a sudden, who who dat? He's coming from into the top five here, so very impressive as usual.
Let's take a look at some of these paints, Milty. There's Jeff Hale's Trans Am, and that's awesome, man. That's awesome. There's a Pinky in the Candy Crush.
Cause we're loaded and we're trucking. Oh, Coors Beer, your favorite there.
The Duke car. There's
There.
Guy Petra in his Cobra Thunderbird.
Carol Shelby. And I forgot what I was going to say.
There's there's Ed. We got to do something with Ed and his paint. It's a little crooked there in the Buick.
Yeah,
And
it doesn't match his skills. He
there's
needs something shiny and new there for sure.
there's Sammy in his Predator ride, Advision. Back to the
Yeah,
Future for Matty Watkins. Always in the DeLorean, Milty. What do you think of
yeah,
that? Matty
that's his
Watkins in the
old school.
DeLorean.
That's his old school colors. And
Yeah,
every time I
like it.
watch Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox reminds me. They're both good looking guys like that, and Matt kind of looks like Michael J. Fox a little bit. So,
There's the green flags out. Jeff Hale leads them down.
well, he's just been steady there. Sharp wants his lap back. He's going to have to earn it with the 29.
Yeah,
The
and
29's got one focus, and that is put foot to the floor. There is
hmm
no better driver in this league on cold tires out the box than the 29,
yeah.
bar none.
And I think he just showed it right there with a great first
Absolutely.
lap. But look at the 34 is hanging right with him, picking up a little draft off of him.
Well,
And
yeah.
Isaac
What Isaac needs to
Johnson,
do is save more tires than the 29. Stay right with him, but that's how you beat the 29 if you can. Uh, is by countering his strategy because you know what his strategy is going to be, especially past the halfway point of the race.
it's go
It's
time for him.
is go time.
Yeah, he's gonna have one gear right now, and he's gonna hope he's gonna outrun you, and not worry about his equipment. And Isaac here can, keep in that draft, and he can, like you said, Milty, maybe conserve a little equipment. Guy Petra though is not gonna let Isaac just cruise around in second. And right behind Guy, this is some tight bunching right now. Joe Cutt, Ed's right there. Matt Watkins, Sammy Young now is starting to show his skill at this track, Milty. And if we do get a green flag run now, as we're on lap 76 of 107, Milty, 77 now, 30 laps remaining. We're going to have to make one stop if we stay green because we went green with about 34 remaining. And they're racing hard right now. So,
Well, this is right in Sam's wheelhouse. This is what he wants. He wants to be able to push. He's a short track multiple champion and admin, and it was gonna be a 3-man team with our broadcast tonight, but he couldn't get his system to work. We had commercials lined up. We probably had so much stuff it would have exceeded the length of the broadcast ability. But we were all set up for that, but it just didn't work out. But we'll see in the future. He's going to keep working on it. But we got what we got. We got Greg Bernardo running this thing, and it's running pretty good here.
yeah,
Thank you, sir.
trying to remember how to do this stuff. The top 5, 6 people now is all kind of strung out, and look at this.
It's a big ass line there now.
Yeah, it
It's
is,
go
Milty,
time
and,
now.
well, I think the laps are concerning for some drivers. They're thinking, I'm not going to win this race on speed. I got to win it on strategy. 34 laps, can you do it, Milty?
I've done it before. When I beat Matt Watkins here, and the 18 goes around, and the 17 and the 55 gets some more damage of James Nally.
And
He gets
T-Roy.
going again. T-Roy got caught up in that. Looked like the 18 lost it. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, we'll take a quick look back at that, Milty. Yeah, the 18 just went into the turn, lost it into the inside wall. T-Roy and 55, and James Nally hard into the outside wall.
The 55 has just not been in the right place at the right time, and then shit happens, and sometimes it happens again, as Steve McQueen would say, or did say in the movie Le Mans. So, well, he didn't say shit, but so that's going to be the deal for him. Not going to be his night, but he's won races already, and he's going to win some more. You better watch what that 55 is going to do.
Yeah, and let's watch these pit stops, Milty. Jeff Hale's leading them down the access road, and that is the rule here. You cannot pit off of 4 here, so you gotta take your lumps on this access road. You can go as fast as you want on it till you hit that cone, but too fast, you might be sliding through grass up onto the track and be done for the night. Sammy in this
Jeff
pit, Guy
Hale with a new
Petra.
team now, longtime sim racing. Uh, he's with a new team now. What I forgot.
Yeah, I think he's with Sin City now.
Sin City now, and boy, did they get a wealth of
Oh
knowledge
boy.
there. Class guy, and this guy knows every in and out, and
Yeah,
executes a pit stop behind Kerstetter, which is very hard to do when you're in P2 and that leader comes across you like that. Fantastic job by the
uh,
29 crew.
and the 28, 4 tires and fuel, but boy, Ed's got his hands full tonight, doesn't he, Milty?
Yeah, yeah, but obviously you see him racing the track and racing this situation. You watch guys when they come in and win, and you haven't seen them before. You wonder what's their whole spectrum of because the competition level is so good here, and you know how good the 28 is here. Well, I'm sure he's enjoying himself because he's getting he's in a fist fight here now.
Oh, absolutely. Lot of two-tire, a lot of strategy being played out here. With now, we're in a. Let's see, what do we have left here, Milty? 1926 laps remaining. When we cross the line here.
My deal would be
So
if we get another caution, then I would try either staying out or because he only got what 25 laps, so you almost got to stay out. But some guys are going to try to pit, so you got to decide if another caution comes out in a few laps, what are you going to do? You going to
yeah,
stay with your track position, or are you
I
going to the lap speeds look like they're not falling off that much, so you almost got to stay out from this point if you're in the top five or so.
there's Mark Favorite in our one of our favorite paint jobs, the Rosie Greer Pabst Blue Ribbon ride, Milty.
Yes,
Uh,
our SLA Ram fans from the day.
there's
Rosie Greer was one of the fearsome foursome, and he also was a heck of a knitter.
yeah. 83 at Steve Weber there in the Jack Daniels ride. There's Stone's paint job there, a little camo on the bottom, little uh, vintage artwork. Looks like some World War II kind of artwork there on the hood for Sin City. There's dogs and Milty. We got to give him a shout out for this paint. Uh,
Well, I've raced in sim
he
racing
painted
in
this one
this league
himself.
for a long time, and I've never painted no car. And just for him to just say, "I'm gonna I'm gonna try it,"
And
it's hard,
it
And these
is.
painters, we don't give them enough credit. These as the lights go out, one to go. These painters of these cars, they have restrictions as far as how big they can make the files, so they have to cram as much as they can in, because they could paint these things up even more HD, but it would clog up our server and take away from the bandwidth. So they do a great job.
Yeah, they do, and you can see some really nice paints here. There's the 303 of Ken Ron, the Isaac's Restaurant in Delhi. That's some new paint for Ken Ron. Uh, the 191 of Mike Sanders with some new paint as well. Maryland's Best Wine. I don't know if state of Maryland got the Mike Sanders somehow all the way
Yeah,
to
he's in
Vegas
Las
there.
Vegas.
I don't know what's going on there, man. Mike's equal opportunity sponsor for Mike Sanders. There's the classic Coors paint there on Ken Hansen's car, Milty.
Mike
Good old
sponsors a crap load of stuff. The Indy 500, he puts a lot of his own money into it, and we really appreciate it. All his sponsorship and his class act from Sin City Racing there.
there's Ken Hansen's paint, the monster '07 car there, Monte Carlo.
The 44, Mark Favorite, is in the lead. He obviously did not pit. He stayed out. So now what you gonna do?
Yeah, let's go back to the green flag racing here, Milty. Mark favored Jeff Hale right on his bumper, though, Milty, and he did change 2 tires, I believe.
Okay.
I don't think Jeff did. Mm,
Jeff got 4.
okay, Jeff got 4, so that's going to be tough, I think, for Mark to do that. But maybe Mark's thinking there's going to be another caution.
Matt Watkins and Joe Cutter taking a look under Sean Reap, battling in the top 10. They want to move up now. It's go time.
And Jeff Hale takes over the lead from Mark Favorite. Steve Weber going to the inside of Mark as well. And now the whole
Oh,
line is forming and almost some contact there between Jeff
this is what
Stone
the leaders want to see, though,
and
is these
Webb.
guys
Oh,
battle
and
behind
Favorite
them.
loses it
Oh,
into the
Favorite into the
outside
wall.
wall.
Hard lick, nice save.
We're staying green. That was a hard
That was a
hit, though, for
nice.
the car.
Yeah, that's not. He done, but
Oh, and the caution is out, though,
and the
now.
caution
And
is
we
out.
still
There's
are,
too many parts.
no, and we have another spin in the back there. Looks like
Oh,
Bill
dog
Mark.
almost got into his teammate Isaac. Whoa, boy! But he didn't. That would have been a hard meeting Monday morning at the Thor Dog Enterprises with the
Wow.
boss trying to explain why he took out his young protege there, but he did not.
The,
So
well, Doc, Dog, I thought, Milty, when we saw that shot of Dog's car, that
they're stopped completely
the
as they're waiting for the pace car. Sorry.
Dog's Pro Cup Pro Truck trophy, I think, might have been in the passenger seat of this car tonight. So he's feeling good.
Well, he was almost feeling the back of the 34 there, and that was close as they were trying to get it woed down. Great job by
Well,
obviously, because there was cars all around doing the same thing. That's like trying to drive the LA freeway at 160 miles an hour.
you mean like you normally do?
Pretty much, as you know, and I've been working down there, and my helper won't even drive the truck. He says, "We go to LA, you're driving. That's
Yeah.
it."
Yeah, you've been known to heel and tow a truck or two, Milty, and that kind of unnerves people.
Yeah, it's a van, but heel and toe it's always possible.
Well, Jeff Hale is our leader now. Uh,
Well, I think he's got to stay out here.
oh yeah, definitely staying out.
I think they all got to stay out if you're in the back on the lead lap or off the lead lap. You might as well get tires.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Mark is retiring from that hit against the
Yeah,
wall.
tough for Faber
Yeah,
Frey.
and Martino is also retiring. It looked like there was some contact in the back of the field there after Mark hit the wall and the caution was out. I don't know if there was contact or it was another spin, but we see Martino also retiring. So this is going to leave, I believe, like 20 cars maybe, Milty, on the lead lap now, but still 20 cars on the lead lap.
We got Hale up front. And you got Monsoon behind him. You got Jeff in third, and then you got Thor Dog fourth and fifth there, and Monsoon sixth and seventh. They're gonna have to see what they try to do together. It doesn't look like it's much of a track for help from a teammate unless your teammate goes down low and you go with them, and then you try to force the opponent to the outside and get the preferred line.
And let's not
Jeff is no stranger to this here. He's going to be cool as a cucumber.
yeah, let's not forget our sixth and seventh place runners, teammates Guy Petra, Matt Watkins. Both a lap down, both got lead back onto the lead lap, both now in a position to win this race. I see them kind of working their way to the front, Milty. I think Sam's going to follow right in their footsteps. This is definitely go time for these guys, and I think the skill now is going to rise to the front.
A big guy came in there and they grabbed his teammate and said, "No, you come over here." Bumped him over there, got him pitted. That was the second teammate that tried to help Matt, and and yet even with helping him and going a lap down, he still got his lap back, and now they've got a possibility at top five or better. We got plenty of laps left here.
And the lights still on the pace car. Taking a look at our running order here. There's Sam. Joe Cutt right behind Sammy. Joe Cutt with a good run, Milty. He was up front right at the beginning. We saw kind of fell back to the mid-pack, kind of just ran around, logged his laps, stayed out of trouble.
And the lights are out.
And now here he is in the top 10.
There's very few, like the 29 in this position. He's sitting there, he's chewing on a little beef jerky and chilling, and he's like, yeah, this ain't no thing. Not likely to see a bobble out of this guy, and he knows how to go fast out of the gate. These guys are really up against it here. They're going to have to hope and pray he makes a mistake or take it away from him.
And Milty, I'm concerned for our teammate Ed. He's back in 16th position, Milty. If you're Ed and you're in 16th right now, what's your strategy with just like about 18 laps to go?
Well, we haven't watched a whole lot. He may have got some damage, or he may just, like 2-3 weeks ago when I ran California, and the race before I had run was the King of the Hill, and I won it. And then I ran in California, and I was racing around 15th or 20th, and I was getting my ass kicked there. Shows you the awesome skill level out here, and sometimes you just don't hit the mark on the track with your setup, or you lose your rhythm, or you lose track position. This is Pro Sim Racing at FSBRacing.com. It's you got to bring your A game every night.
And we're green
or you
flag
find yourself
racing.
in 15th, you know.
Green flag racing. Jeff Hale leading them down. Pinky still there, right on his bumper. Almost a little contact between Pinky and Jeff there, but Jeff holds
racing
him off
side by side with Pinky. Speaking of that California race, a lot of the times we were fighting around the top 10, and as you see him pull over, we got somebody into the wall. That's the 4, I think, of Jeffrey Stone,
yes,
as they race back to the line.
Yes, it is. Wow, what a bad break for Stone. He was having a great run.
The Monsoon guys, all bets were off there. I don't know who got the spot, and it was the 151. He got by Dog, too, I think. It's coming down to a shootout, boys.
Wow. So let's take a quick look at what happened to Stone. He was having a great run, Milty. He was up in the top 5. He led laps early on.
It shows you that we're just watching them turn laps, especially at the beginning of the race. Obviously, everybody was taking it a little easy, but how close they are to the edge. These aren't like fast setups. These are pro loose on cold tires, neutral in the center of the run, and maybe a little tight at the end. But they're
some contact between the 4 and the 34 there, Milty.
Well, that's going to be one on Isaac. If of course I haven't seen it, so I can't call that. You know, obviously all decisions are made by the admin and FSB Racing post race.
Yeah, as we see Jeff and Isaac there, Isaac made a late move low, and I just don't think Stone anticipated him making that move. He came down, and you can see Isaac was up.
One for him.
Isaac was up to his door, Milty, but the passing guy should bear that responsibility, and there was contact.
Absolutely.
And Stone very hard into the outside wall. I think that
always disappointing when
might be an end to your night
far.
And then, like you said, some fierce racing between the 151, the 15, and the 108 there. And Matt Watkins made a little move to go 3 wide right at the line there. But Dog held him off. So Dog feeling his oats these last couple of days. Fending off Matt Watkins.
He was another guy in that California race in this series a couple weeks ago that I was like, We were going at it until he got in an accident with somebody else. Had some bad luck, but I was like, I've been gone for 6 months, and then to not only see the progression of some guys that have been in the league, you also got the new guys. It's very exciting.
Yeah, so laps are counting down though, Milty. 92
So, did anybody
laps
pit?
of
Doesn't look like it.
107. No, no
They're
one
just
pitted.
rolling around.
15 to go. Let's see, the lights will go out here. No, they're still on. So we're gonna go.
We got lap cars.
So we should go green with about 13 remaining, Milty.
Tough luck
Obviously,
for Bill Yarborough. He would have
yeah.
been in this pack right here,
No,
like he always is. But that's
absolutely.
sim racing. Tough luck for a lot of guys. We reset here. Yeah, you got Webb, the ever steady. Just another guy that
Well, he's
you just go, wow, man, from where he was to where he's at.
yeah, and I think Webb won a race either earlier this
Yeah,
week or
yeah,
late last week. So, I mean, if you just go through these top five guys, and even Isaac has racked up some wins in the FSB division, Milty. So these are all winners at the front, and there you see Pro Cup champion Guy Petra right there, and Dog, of course, won last night. So I mean, there's no breathing room if you're in the top five right now. You can't just say I'm just going to cruise around and walk away with the top five. That's not going to happen if you're not going to
uh,
be up on the wheel right now.
yeah, and that's what the 29's hoping for. But I don't even know if he thinks about that kind of stuff.
Nah, he doesn't think about
He's
that
just
stuff.
so. I do know when he gets behind me, he likes to give me a little bump right
No, that's
in the
just
right place. Never wrecks me, but
that's just
yeah,
that's
never,
just
it's just like, hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
yeah.
It's
That's
been
all
a
it is.
while.
Right.
Nice talking to you. I think I'm gonna pass you now.
That's just kind of like what a neighbor would do to you. No, nothing, no harm.
Ultimate respect, and this dude is gonna be hard to beat here. Does not lose focus. Does not throw him away at the end
Mm,
here,
yeah,
and
that's there. If you're Webb, you want to get a good clean start. You want to stay glued to his bumper, keep that draft, and then maybe you can try like maybe kind of like a slingshot move, Milty. Um, that will maybe get you, at least side by side, using that draft to your advantage when with just this few laps left. You may only have one shot at making that move if you're Webb, so you got to make it count.
yeah, you got to be up on the wheel and get going and be able to try to position yourself to make a move by turn three.
And Isaac in third, Guy Petra fourth, Dog fifth, Matt Watkins sixth, Sam Young seventh, Joe Cutt eighth, ninth Ken Ron, 10th Sean Reap. So these guys have hung around all night and been in that upper half of the pack, and it's paid off for them. Sam has gone from the back to the front along with Matt Watkins, Guy Petra. So those guys, the veterans, Milty, they know how to work traffic very nicely.
Mark Dillon Jr. gets out the way like he should.
Yeah,
Trying to collect some points. Good
right.
job.
Collect some points, and we know that car has been hurt early on with that hard contact, so he doesn't really have the car to do anything, but he did the right thing there. Jeff Hale, Steve Weber, Isaac, and Guy Petra, top four, have moved on out from Matt Watkins. Oh,
Look
and
at that
Isaac's
line check.
loose. Oh, and there's contact.
Oh, 360. He's still
Oh,
spinning.
and
Oh, and he's still into the wall hard.
and caution back out, and we will still be racing after this caution. But wow, Isaac got loose coming out of four, Milty, and he kind of did look like he was sideways all the way through the start finish line there.
Well, he might have got on the brakes and tried to do it like you throw a baseball. And when you let go of the ball sidearm, you want to let go right if you're going to throw it straight, right in the middle. So you hit the brakes and try to stay between the walls until the car comes around and try to catch it. Even though you're basically out of control, you're still thinking that as you're spinning backwards. These drivers are really good, but he couldn't pull it off.
And we see the culprit, it looks like Milty, was the apron. Clipped the apron as he was coming out of four. The back end kind of came up around, and then he was on the brakes, like you said, trying to correct the car, and Guy Petra nowhere to go. Gave him
Well,
a good shot
yeah,
there,
tough
and
luck for a guy.
yeah, Guy then glancing off the outside wall. Matt Watkins taking evasive action to not rear end his teammate. And wow. And we see Isaac there spinning everyone, avoiding him somehow. So disaster could have been for the entire field behind him there, Milty, but only really one car involved. Unfortunately for Isaac, it was him.
I'll be right back. Step away for about 30 seconds.
So resetting the field once again. 97 of 107 laps, just 11 laps to go. So we're doing what we call here at FSB a 10 lap rule. A 10 lap rule means any cars that are a lap or more down or tail end of the lead lap do have to pit. They don't have to stop in their pit. They can drive through pit lane, but they do have to come off the track, down pit lane, to allow all the lead lap cars ahead of them so that these final 10 laps, the lead lap cars can fight amongst themselves and not have to worry about the lap traffic.
Well, now you got monsoon teammates 2 and 3 and 4.
Mm.
Got to figure the 151 is hurt, but
Well,
the
Milty,
83 and the 15 will have a plan here. I
I don't
guarantee.
know if with the lights still on the pace car, Milty, I don't know if you could drag the 151 up real quick to see if he has any damage.
Yeah, let's grab his ass here.
And just real quickly, we'll find out for Guy Petra there if the car is hurt because his car's been fast all night and his teammates are right there with him.
Apparently, I have insufficient permissions here, so I'm unable
Yes,
to drag him. Sorry.
it looks like Jim is wiser than we thought, not giving you those permissions actually, or you'd be dragging people all over the place.
Well, actually, we need to drag him up for after the race. So I hope
Yeah,
Jim's watching so he can
yeah, if,
get in here. In fact, I'll give him a text real quick.
yeah. If the boss is watching, we need a quick promotion in the TeamSpeak server, boss, so one of us can do some dragging. Lights still on the pace car. 98 of 107, so 10 laps right now to go. Uh, Looks like it will be about 8 laps to go when we take green. 8 laps is plenty of time for if you're in 5th or 6th right now that you could get to the front and make a difference. That is enough time, especially if the leaders battle. So if you're like Sammy or Joe Cutt, Ken Ron, you got to be up on the wheel still because there's still something to race for.
Yeah, and we seen what happened to Jeff there. At this accelerated pace, anything can happen.
Yeah, and Isaac obviously a quality driver, Milty, but just tried to push the envelope maybe just a tick too much there. And you can see that even the quality drivers, if you make a small mistake, sometimes you can't recover from it.
I accidentally called Jim. I suck at texting. I was just trying to text him something, and
Yeah,
next thing you know, I'm calling him. Oh boy.
Milty, you and technology are not compatible, so
I think it was born after
just
me.
try not to get electrocuted, bud.
I almost couldn't get the track in. Then, of course, Guy was making fun of me.
Well,
You know how he is.
no, he does that. He does that every race. Lights are out
So
on the pace car now.
it's gonna be a shootout. Let's
Oh
get
yes,
some
it
here.
is. There's Jeff Hale, Steve Weber, Matt
Obviously,
Watkins.
second and third here are going to try to find a line that's different from the 29. What we saw in the last restart is the 29 stayed low down right at the racing line and um, defended his position a little bit different line he ran earlier. So he's going to make them try to go high. See what happens here. Green, green, green.
Green flag out. Jeff Hale versus Monsoon Motorsports has begun with 8 laps to go. Jeff off to a great start, as Milty said. He's just so good on the cold tires, and it's so hard to be aggressive on cold tires, especially at a high-speed track like
Oh,
this. And there
you
we
see
see
the
Sam
83. Yeah,
and
absolutely. You see the
Sammy. Yeah,
83 push up.
yeah, but Sam working that high line, he's coming, and as they cross the line with 7 to go, Jeff is in front, Matt Watkins second, Steve Weber back to third. So the Monsoon teammates swap position, and Matt Watkins now
Really
is
good run out of turn two
really
there for
good
Matt
run.
Watkins. Holy
But
cow.
here comes Sam as
What a
well,
stud this guy is. The GOAT, I call him. Greatest of all time. Is
and he's
all
gonna.
over that 29. He takes the air off the back of him and gets on the inside. It's side by side. He's going to take that spot, or is he? Oh my gosh, what a great
Goodness.
pass right there.
Well, he's not completed it yet.
Well, now he's on the inside, and Jeff is using the same line that he ran. What's the 83 going to do? He doesn't want to push the 29 and help
Oh, but here
hurt his
comes
teammate.
and here comes Sam on the outside of Guy and Webb, looking for
Matt
third.
Watkins. Oh, boy, Jeff tries to go down low.
Oh,
Four to go.
oh, and someone's hard at. Oh, there's wrecking
Oh,
and Guy
they're
Petra,
wrecking
Joe
behind.
Cut. Oh,
They
I
got to
can
race
run
back to the
hard.
line. This
Guy,
is the.
oh,
Oh,
Guy
Sammy
Pete.
gets the wall. They're
Oh
racing back to the line.
man,
It's 15 in the lead. Jeff's got one corner, and Matt Watkins just drives away from this field. Unbelievable, and also believable. The GOAT.
wow, wow. And we will not go back green, Milty. It's
Great finish by Sammy,
wow.
our teammate,
We're gonna
right
have to
there.
take a. I got caught up in watching the
Yeah,
wreck
no,
in
no
there. Guy
worries.
Petra. Hopefully, Guy. Oh, man, did someone?
Speak to
Some.
me, guy. You okay?
Oh man, I'm worried for Guy Petra. He took a tumble. The car went upside down, and then James Nally came in and cleaned his clock as he was sitting there
Oh, that
helpless.
55 has been the
Oh
magnet. The
man.
poor guy just.
Oh, well, uh,
Sometimes you're the
I
hammer,
mean,
and sometimes you're the nail, and
I
he's the nail tonight. The
No,
55.
well, the 55 was a hammer right there, though, on Guy Petra and hammered him down the backstretch. And just hope, man, did someone see him get out of the car yet? Is all I need to know. Please tell me he's okay. Uh,
Texted back from the boss, and he said he's working on trying to get me privileges for him to drag up the drivers here. So we'll take a look at that. I'd like to talk to our top three.
well,
Yes.
caution is out, Milty. We're on lap 105 of 107. The order of running is Matt Watkins, Jeff Hale, Sam Young, Steve Weber, and Sean Reap jumped up into the top five. And this could be a great top five for the newcomer.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow. So let's Milty, while we're under caution, let's go back and watch
Yeah,
that
show
battle
some of
for the
this. Yeah.
lead.
Yeah, the great pass by Matt, but also great racing by Class Act Jeff. Raced him hard, but knew he was beat and did not did nothing but what you could do, which was give up the position there. Matt just got a great run. I don't know if Jeff didn't get a good run out of turn four there or what happened, but Matt got a huge run.
Yeah, he did. And we see that Jeff made that move to the inside. Matt covered him very nicely, and then there was contact, and there was some wrecking behind him. Guy Petra, Ken Ron was involved there. And then as they race back to the caution, uh, we see that Jeff just could not. Matt Watkins is just with a huge head of steam, and Jeff could not catch back up to him.
Okay, I think I've got this down here. Okay, I think I can. The boss gave me the key to drag drivers up, so I do believe I have it in the right spot. So we'll see as we wind this down. We'll try to get first, second, and third up here.
Yeah, so if that holds, as we still have to complete the regulation number of laps, Milty, I've seen cars blow up on these caution laps.
Yeah, it
Uh,
ain't over till it's over.
so yeah, let's just keep an eye on things here. But uh, with one lap to go, it looks like Matt Watkins is going to be uh, going from a lap down and trapped in pit lane to victory lane.
Guy Petra and James Nally have disconnected. Obviously, they were. So it looks like Guy Petra walked out of the
Oof,
in-care center. Okay, that was a hard lick.
Yeah, that was a hard hit by Guy, and while we're watching him complete one more lap under caution, we can go back and take a look at what happened with Guy Petra here, Milty, from the cockpit. He was up onto the safer barrier, up on the side of his car, and then cleaned out. And that's the vomit comment there, Milty. Oh man,
Yeah, I'm a few seconds behind, so I'm gonna watch
wow.
it on the race feed here. So, okay, here we go. Boy. Yeah, a little touch from the 88 there. I think guy checked up before him, and that's that's a guys saying, "Where's my bucket? I got to throw up." I think I'm gonna get sick here.
Yeah, that
Great race by Guy, though. I mean, you got to hand it to him. He put on a show, worked himself away from a lap down, helped his teammate. He was getting him some a little bumper love in there in the pits there. What a great show. And of course, Guy always puts on a great show. Great admin to the league, a great racer. Uh, But but he gone.
and
Fantastic. Great coverage.
there's
Thank you
our.
again, Greg, for hooking this up, and it's
Oh,
great to
no
be
problem.
back
Yeah,
in the
it's great to be
booth.
back. There we see our full running order, Milky. 27 car field, uh, 15 finishing on the lead lap. Uh, Fortunately, some guys wanted the better finishes. Isaac had a great car all night. As you said, Guy Petra, Joe Cutt also had good rides all night. Bill
Yep,
Yarbrough had
yep.
some the internet
Yeah, it's
bug him.
that
So
sucks.
yeah, and Matt Watkins getting some love from the rest of the field with some love taps. Um,
Unbelievable.
yeah,
He was way in the back with the dogs, and
yeah,
once again, that's how he do. He just wins. Finds a way. He missed a big wreck. Took evasive action. He
yeah,
just, has a great sense of where to be, and he knows what he needs to do. That pass was unbelievable. Also, 29 had to know that when you got the 15 behind you, it gets your attention. And I think he did kind of bobbled there in turn four a little bit. And Matt got the perfect exit line and executed the pass. It was done. It was all done deal there.
and
Kind of like the Indy 500. You make that last corner bobble,
And
and
Matt
here they come.
and Matt Watkins ripping up that nice yellow paint that the boss man I think was actually painting by hand to get this race ready. That's how
Well,
dedicated he is. So
well, yeah, Ellie
boss,
and
yeah,
Charlie were down there helping them, but I think they were getting um, paint more on themselves than the line. So,
yeah. So Matt Watkins, our winner. Jeff Hale second. Sam Young third. That completes our podium. All three with just great runs. Jeff was my pick, Milty. I thought my pick was going to come through, but
well,
he ran into Matt Watkins, and I know Jeff. When we talked to him, we're going to say,
yeah, I'm
you
gonna
know,
grab these guys here
yeah,
while we're thinking that. So,
yeah. So why Milty goes and grabs our top finishers. There's our final official running order. Rounding out that top five, Steve Weber, Sean Reap, great run by him. Dog Palmer had a solid run all night, sixth place finish for Dog. Mike Sanders with a solid run. There's Ed Kersetter. Remember I was saying I was worried about him back in 16th. Well, he made up about half of those positions, and with those yellow flags, I think that hurt him at the end there. He would have maybe been a little higher there, but Ed brings home a top 10 in eighth. Ken Hansen with a quality top 10 as well. Ken was one of those backpack guys in the early run, and those backpack guys really did well, actually. Mike Pruitt with a top 10 finish. No surprise there. And then we see the rest of our lead lap cars. Rick Bisconner, it's Troy T. Roy there in 12th. Ken Soska in 13th. Jeff Stone had that spin and unfortunate break there for Jeff. Lead some laps. He was looking good. Finished back in 14th. Ken Rodman was in that incident right there at the end. Finished last car on the lead lap in 15th. And there's the rest of our running order, including Joe Cutt, Guy Petra, James Nally, all involved in that final incident there. There's Isaac back in 21st. Very disappointed, I'm sure. Uh, so looks like we are slowly gathering our podium finishers, and looks like we got Matt and Jeff in, and the more things change, you two, the more they stay the same. Uh, Matt, I think I always say, I'm not surprised, but seeing what happened to you at pit lane, Matt, tell me the truth. Uh, did you think you were going to win that race when that was going on?
No, definitely not. I was about to call it a night because I was out of gas and sitting sideways, and I couldn't call the tow truck. So I had a couple of teammates. I begged them. I was like, you think there's a chance you come on pit road and straighten me out and get me back going? And luckily, both teammates were able to push me into my stall so I could actually get pitted. And I lost a lap because got a lucky caution there and got a lap back, and just it was tough. So I had to make moves when I could with all the cautions, and then at the end there, I think Jeff might have been on too because I had a really good run there.
Yeah, what a
I missed that, but
great.
I guess I'll watch the broadcast there. But so why were you stuck in the pits there,
He
Matt?
ran out of gas, Milty.
Oh, no kidding.
We thought
That's why
maybe
they were pushing you around.
we couldn't tell if you were maybe hung up on the wall or something, but yeah, out of gas does make sense now when I'm thinking back on it, man. Yeah, the good couple bumps from the teammates and good to go. And Jeff, man,
Wow. Hell, man. Wow. That's a
that's
tough pill to swallow.
Well, I knew when somebody was living right, Matt.
No
Matt had
kidding.
all the luck tonight. So when you got back from the league lap, I knew I had to keep my eye on him. I took 2 cars that last spot, but
Ah,
it's a fun track.
I was
I
right,
love running
Milty.
it. I love running that outside, and I mean the car would work anywhere I put it. But after that last caution when Matt avoided that wreck and he was up to third, I knew I was in trouble then. So it was all I could do to try and hang on. I tried to run it hard on the outside, but since he had a little better tires than what I did, that's all I could do.
Yeah, I
yeah,
saw
a
you.
class run as
Yeah,
usual.
absolutely great run, Jeff. yeah, I saw you working that outside line. You get that real good run coming off of 2 and 4, and yeah, Matt just man, he hugged that inside line. He got a great run out of 4 those last couple of laps. So that might have been the difference right there. You're absolutely right. But the last guy that stole the podium, Milty, teammate. Sammy Young, where did you come from, Sam? I thought you were down. I thought you were down in North Carolina in this race.
I really was. I wrecked the 44 early, and I feel so bad about that. And had a little bit of damage there, and I really don't know how I got up there. I'm just getting lucky each one of the cautions to get by 1 or 2 cars, and on that last one, I just said go for it and got on the outside of that 83. It was always tough, and managed to pull off a podium. I was saying to my team, I says, I think I got a shot at a podium. I might get interviewed tonight. You guys, great to see you guys back, and appreciate all you do, of course, all the time.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
So once again, Matt, you start in the back there and work up and avoid some serious collisions there. I call you the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And that's pretty much the numbers line up with that. And once again, you showed it. And,
that is a DeLorean, Milt. I don't know if you pointed out in the broadcast.
Yeah,
that is a DeLorean.
Yeah.
Back to the Future, man.
Yeah, he must have saw what happened in this race, so he, went back and made sure he won.
Okay, wait a minute. I got to think about that bet, too.
It was nice to get some bricks tonight, because if we didn't get that one caution, I probably went like 4 or 5 laps down, because apparently if you're sitting in your stall, you can't call a tow truck. So I was kind of screwed.
Yeah, we could see your tires moving, so we knew we were like, maybe his calibration went out. But his tires are moving, so, and then
Did the 151 bump him in?
hit you. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, first Mike hit him and tried to bump him in, and got him straightened up, but he wasn't in his stall, and then Mike was already past him, so he couldn't back up, or he would have been disqualified. So then Guy came back in and bumped him in the rear and got him into his pit stall. It's quite great teamwork, sacrifice.
I'd say so.
Absolutely.
You might owe a beer or two there.
Absolutely.
Just maybe.
And a terrible break for Guy right there at the end too.
He got his lap back.
Yeah.
And that's racing.
He's running good.
Yeah, he was running good, and he just he got knocked up onto his side, and then got hit again, and spun about 40 times. So hopefully he's not throwing up his dinner right now.
Yeah, there was barf on the inside of the car. NASCAR reported.
Matt, you got to play the lottery.
Yeah, it sucks when he's lucky and he's so dang good, Well, he wasn't lucky in the now I can't remember what it's called. Oh yeah, King of the Hill. That was. He flew over the top of me though, so I was like,
Yeah, I got a
"God,
little
things
luck
are
back
looking
tonight,
good."
so.
There he goes.
Yep.
Thank God.
Well, Matt Watkins passed the trophy on.
That's right.
That will be coming very
Deal
soon,
time.
buddy boy.
Absolutely awesome. Well, it's just been great to get a chance to do this again. We're all jazzed all week, and you guys did not disappoint. The show was great as usual. Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. Congrats.
Good to see you guys back.
Yeah, congrats to all 3 of you. Great runs, and Milty, as always, it's a pleasure doing broadcasts with you.
Right on.
Good to see you back, bud.
Absolutely. Let's wrap this thing up and watch this thing here. I'm gonna watch it.
All right, well, that will do
Good
it.
racing, guys. See you at the next one.
Okay, thanks, guys, and good luck, and
Good
see
job,
you at the
top
next
3.
one.
Yep. Good job, guys. Have a good
Yep.
night.
Appreciate it, guys.
FSB Racing. Them racing at its best.